our council, Today's Voices, is aimed at engaging young people in Austria to have a roundtable discussion, and we put this on for all of us.
Entrepreneurship is a way of looking at the world and seeing not just the obstacles, but the opportunities. Not just the world as it is, but the world as it could be. And then having the confidence, the determination, and the know-how to bring us closer to that world. And that is why I applaud you for being here today.
We'll have 5-minute business pitches, and after each one, we'll hear from the panelists and the ambassador, their comments and feedback.
Our business venture aims to create a cultural path between Vienna and Bratislava through the exchange of sales of art and socially sensitive intellectual material by the means of a mobile art boat.
We want to take our knowledge and connections to create a new moving space for artists and viewers.
The combination of art fairs, off spaces, commercial and underground art gives a chance for artists to be discovered.
The Emmerstedt Wien is a 75-year-old ship that has just recently been refurbished.
We attempt to take the boat or the vessel from Vienna to Bratislava, or that I wasn't sure, because were you going to have like regularly scheduled cruises?
Share the gallery experience as it exists today. How does it change because you get to bring it to more people? Does that mean that you have to change it less frequently or more frequently? How do those costs go in and come out again?
Knowing how to manage your resources, or in other words, financial literacy, is a big thing. It's not so much about how much money you have, it's much more how do you handle your money. What we did is we developed a game, a computer game, actually a smartphone game, that trains financial literacy to 14 to 19-year-olds without being overtly educational. So the game is a so-called serious game. It's a game that teaches you something, but at the same time it's fun. So the fun is not compromised by the learning content. We also call these games with the transient learning content.
If you can start to paint a picture of how you are world-class in these things that have not been brought together before, and that's why this is going to work when maybe other things haven't, or why this being different is going to succeed. I would encourage you, because I think there's a lot in that. If you can sort of bake a little bit more of that into your presentation about how you got here, I think that will get people even more engaged.
I like your idea that you presented, a milestone concept. Go out into the market with the game, measure the impact, measure the learning effect, and if this is positive, then start to scale.
You could ask, why would sunlight, water, or even bark beetles won't affect our products? Wood, depending on wood you use, actually we use birch wood and ash wood. Is very light. Our products are almost as light as products made out of titanium or carbon. The main feature of our product is the so-called ductility. So wood has some sort of memory effect. So wood goes back to its original form in like overnight. So you won't have this with like carbon rim. So if a carbon rim has a crack, it's gone, and our product will last even longer.
I think what I would might expand the story, right, is really from the outset say, here's what the product, here are the benefits, right? And if it's the beauty, that's one benefit. If it's speed, it's another benefit. If it's somehow has an environmental impact that is very positive, that might be another benefit. So it's really, you set the story up right at the beginning to say, here are all the reasons that you want to own this.
So a social impact bond, and that's the point, combines three stakeholders: the public sector, an investor, and some sort of NGO who has an idea that you can scale. The state saves quite a lot of money, and a certain part of that money goes to the investor. If not, the investor has to pay for it. So for the investor, it's definitely a social bonus, but also potentially a financial one.
And so the investor loses out if the NGO is unable to do that. Might there be a hesitancy on the part of a government agency to attach their name or influence to a bond which might fail, which then creates this impression of the government not honoring its bond obligations?